Oluseyi, generally known as AO, and founded Apt Foundation Nursery and Primary School. Apt Foundation Nursery and Primary School actually came to birth after CCLC. CCLC is our lesson center. CCLC actually means Creative Children Lesson Center. We realized that there are kids ages between 1 to 2 are out of school, usually because of obvious reasons. They are too small. And parents need to go to work, parents need to get busy, these kids need to be placed somewhere safe, and they need to learn, not just a play school. They need to actually learn things. So we started the lesson center, CCLC, and it's been running since then. We open as early as 6 o'clock for parents that have to go out that early, and we close as late as 9 p.m. for parents that get back that late. I mean, considering the traffic in Lagos, that usually happens. But the school itself, Apt Foundation Nursery and Primary School, started 2 years ago. We're about a year and a few months old, but we have achieved a lot, way more than what is actually expected of our age. With us, if you're looking for a place where your children can learn not just all that is required in the educational curriculum, they can learn morals, they can learn proper upbringing, they can learn to be streetwise without actually being on the road. You've got it here. In the morning, we start with assembly and the regular assembly drill, the prayers, the worship, then the national anthem. Our children drum themselves, but we add something to our assembly that it's not just the head recitations that most schools do. We actually have pictorial recitations. The whole school, goes through it, and they spend time. We spend a considerable amount of time explaining these things to them. For instance, we have we do our regular sex education on the assembly like 3 times a week, where we have different zones. I mean, we teach the children the different zones where people shouldn't touch, where people are allowed to touch, where it should be private, where it's allowed to be public, like your face, your hands. But there's some private parts that, all these things that parents may find it difficult to actually explain to them, or parents don't have the time to. We teach them about basic traffic rules, basic courtesy, manners. Afterwards, they go into the classes, and every child, fits in and is being taught. We have regular tests, we have regular assignments, projects. Even in primary schools, we try and give them mini projects, so they just put their hands into the system alongside the teacher. So it's not just the teacher that is doing all the teaching. They are learning and teaching themselves as well. When school closes, normally at 2:30, most of our kids don't go home. We actually have about 5%, about 4% of our children leaving the school for home. The rest of the children are here for after school lesson. Why? Their parents are at work. And that just goes to show the need for a system to keep the children when the parents are not there. They are here till 7 p.m. They are here till 6. After school lesson starts 4 to 7. We do not just do homeworks, we actually do lesson for these children. Now, we appreciate every child's need, that every child's need is different. So we have coined our after school lesson in such a way that it's like a home lesson. We have different classes, and the classes has to do with the amount of attention we give the child, and that has to do with the amount of what the parents are willing to pay. For instance, we have a class of 2, that's a teacher to just 2 children. We have a class of 3 all the way to class of 7. Then we have a general class, which is between 10 and 15 children. In these special private classes, it's just a teacher to 4, a teacher to 3, a teacher to 2, depending on what the parent is paying, and your child is given maximum attention. Your child is not just being taught well, but is also properly looked after. Our general class is actually for maybe kids that really don't have any issues with their studies, or parents that really, we're not all financially buoyant at every point. So at some point, finances might be low, but because it's something you need, you bring your child to that class. And with time, you can always change the class and move the child to a more attention-driven class. We are self-funded, and both from my pocket and from the school fees that is being generated. But of course, that will not sustain our vision, our dream. Our dream is to have an educational center, an institution where children, regardless of their issues, regardless of their physical impediment, are accepted and are treated as one. Because in the real society, there is no society for the blind. There is no society for the lame. Everybody works together. In more developed countries, people that are handicapped have their wheelchairs and they go to work in their wheelchairs. There's no particular segment. So we want these kids to grow up understanding that I have this issue, I can't do anything about it, but I'm going to live with it, I'm going to live well with it. And to be able to do that, of course, we need funding. We have 2 children with us, and that has been, prototype. We have worked with them over 2.5 years now. One 2.5 years, the other one 1.5 years, and it has been very, very lovely. One is Down syndrome, the other is semi-passe, but they have adjusted and adapted. At their age, there are things they are not expected to do that they are already doing because we are putting them to it. They're writing gradually, they're speaking, they are interacting, they can wear their clothes themselves, they can, things that they ought not do at this time. We are training them to do it, and they are doing it very, very well. For us to be able to extend this care to more people, we need grants, we need funding. And we're not looking for profit-making organizations. We're looking at people that have a passion, or people that have such situations, and they want to partner with us and say, for this arm of the school, we like to come in, we like to do this. We hope in 2 years to open a bigger venue, a bigger location, have a bigger location where we can have a boarding facility for our after-school children that have to close late. It's not all the kids, definitely not all the kids close at 7, because their parents don't come at 7 to pick them. For the ones that their parents come very late, we want them to be comfortable, not just sitting and waiting at the waiting room. We want them to have gone into the dining room for their dinner, watch TV, rested, taking their bath, changing to their PJ, and whatever time their parent comes, they pick them and they go home. And we also want to have the dormitory, facility in such a way that it can house children over the weekends for parents that have to travel, that work outstation jobs. These parents can be comfortable to drop their children with us and go to do whatever they need to do to make life, better for them. We can only do what we can do at the limit by which our funds can take us. Has this economy supported anybody's dreams? No, but you see, we have learned that in the midst of it all, you can make anything you want work for you. It's a little more challenging It's more strenuous, but we are working at it. We are in it, and we're working at it. The major issue is school fees. Parents want to pay, but the money is just not forthcoming. And we really cannot send kids out. I'm not saying we won't, I'm just saying we're not so money conscious that if you don't pay, you will leave. But there's a limit to it, in which the threshold will crack, and we will have to send some back. But we hope we don't have to. So we really hope that this economy will get better, will improve like everybody's predicting, so that it will be easier on the children. They can't start hardship from this age. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. Government has their schools, and in as much as their school is free, you know, we have a lot of mushroom schools everywhere. We have a lot of private schools everywhere, and we still have a number of children that are out of schools. I think one of the things government should do is to not just increase educational budget, but to give educational support to private institutions by helping fund some things, some departments or some structures, so that more people can come into the industry and get more things done. Because our major problem in Africa is lack of education. That is the truth. I don't care how many of us are educated. There's times 2 of those that are illiterates. And out of the so-called literates that have been to school, I want to call them educated illiterates, because they are not being taught properly, either by qualified teachers or qualified environments, or they just didn't get what they should get at the right time. My heart is enlightened, is lighted up when I see a child that is required to do a thing at age 4, doing it at age 2.5. I push the children, and they show me that they are ready to take more and more and more. And contrary to most of our mindset that these kids don't have the capacity, you'll be shocked that they really do have the capacity, and they motivate me to do more, to give more, because they just show you that, try me, I can do it, and they do it. I don't know. I hope this interview will talk to 1 or 2 of them and ask, questions out of the norm. They're very creative. And this idea came to me when I found out that I'm very industrious. I try to engage my mind at all times. But there's something I found out I do not enjoy doing. I can do it, but I don't enjoy doing. It's playing games. I can't pull myself to sit down and begin to play game on the phone. It just takes me, I just feel that the time to learn it is too, I don't have it. And the stress, actually, it's not really the time to stress. I look at a child of 5, 4. I look at my kids, okay, maybe they're too old in secondary school, but I look at kids around here. They take the same game that I'm complaining about, and they apply themselves to it, and they play it. And they win. And when they lose, they try it again, and they keep trying until they win. That, for me, is just it. For me, it's like, if a child can focus on a game and win eventually, then a child can get anything done. Parents come here and they complain that my kids is this, my kids, excuse my language, olodo, my kids don't know this, my kids don't know that, my kids not coping. And I ask, and when the rancor is too much, complaint is too much, I ask parents one question: do you have a phone? I said, of course. Okay, does the child have a phone? I said, no. Can your child play a game on your phone? And I said, oh yes, that's all you do. And she now switches again and starts lamenting, and she doesn't even know where I'm going. So that's all he does. He just plays game. Okay, can you play the game your child is playing? And usually it's no. Not just that they don't have the time, they can't play it. And I tell them, your kid don't have any problem. They're like, how can you say that? So the results, no, it's not your child though, it is you. Because that child has shown he has the ability to do anything if he is exposed to it properly. And that was the turning point for a whole lot of children here. So it's not like children failing. My cutoff mark is 70%. If you have less than 70, you failed. Now, if you fail here, you can never fail any other place. Because your fail here is a pass, in any other school. Don't give up on your children. You can't afford to give up on your children. I mean, give up on your children is not saying you pay school fees. So give up on your children is just having it behind your mind that this child is just a disgrace. You don't say that to your children. So at whatever stage your child is in, encourage the child and child will do better. For school owners, it's a new day, it's a new dawn. School business has to metamorphosize. Banking is changed from when we were young. Even the oil industry is changing. Real estate is changing. For goodness sake, what makes you think education should remain the same? And that's a problem we're having. We're using the same structures. It's not going to hold. It's not going to build. So we have to have new people getting into the educational industry and thinking through. We will come up with new things. And these kids are not like children of our time. They are so energetic. Not just physical energy, brain energy. They have capacity for a lot more. Now, if we do not fuel that capacity, we're going to quench it, and whatever is left alive, they're going to drive it somewhere else, and we can't afford that.